In a world where imagination is king, an ancient evil stirs to threaten the very survival of the cosmos. Clive!
Yes, Mr. Science?
Fetch my tall orange macchiato.
Oh.
Now, my name is Larry Da Vinci. I present your pod.
Man, I was ready to talk about this cute little game, Little Big Planet 2, and Jason had to come in and just turn it completely just fucking dirty, man. When I said, okay, we're going to review Little Big Planet, he's coming in talking about, I thought you said Little Dick Planet. And
I did, and I thought that sounded like the worst game ever.
Well, shit, come sleep with me sometime. You go to that planet every fucking night.
Jason, are you saying you'd rather play Huge Cock Planet?
Now that game sounds exciting. As long as it's available on the Kinect, yes.
Hey, Jason can fit the whole planet in his mouth. So.
I am like the Galactus of Little Dick Planet.
Eating dick worlds everywhere.
What's that?
Devourer of dick worlds.
Yes. That sounds awesome. +1 to sodomy. You have leveled up.
And then we're talking about, we got something cool for you guys to do. And I'm not going to even repeat this. I'm going to tell them what you said, Jason. We were saying, this contest that we want to do would involve little sack boys of ourselves. And what did you say, Jason?
I want to look like a sack. I want to look like a little scrotum boy.
He wants to be a nutsack boy. I mean,
a handsome nutsack boy.
No, you'd be a little hairy nutsack boy. Just being fucking dirty, man. This is a cute game, fun for the whole family. You couldn't even go 2 seconds without turning into something nasty. Anyway, I'm here with old nasty ass Jason Murphy, aka the Murph.
What's going on?
How you doing, Professor Jeff?
Heyo.
And then I have Nicky Poo, a.k.a. the Hodgepodge, a.k.a. Nick Hodges. How you doing there?
Boy, stop it with the Nicky Poo, I swear, man. I'm getting like little ginger cunts slagging me off on Spill.
What? I said a bunch of words. I don't know what they mean.
What did you...
I'm going to say that in public tonight, see what happens. Little ginger cunt slagging me off on Spill.
You might as well be speaking Chinese, man. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Ginger cunts? Aren't those a cookie?
God, I need to go watch Snatch just to understand what you're saying. Like, put the subtitles on.
Doesn't little Debbie...
Christ. I'm speaking the same language here, guys.
I'm saying, doesn't little Debbie make ginger cunts?
Those are Girl Scout
Girl Scout cookies.
And ginger cunts are delicious.
So tasty. I'll take 3 boxes.
Tasty, low calorie, but they're also a little crazy.
Well, people, we have a game here that is ready to eat for everyone. You wouldn't know it by our little discussions that we're having here right now. Now, we were supposed to be joined by Mr. Kevin Baird, who, I don't know, Kevin just disappears now. I don't know what Kevin's doing. Kevin says, I'm going to be there, and then he's just gone. So,
big guy, he likes cookies, found out ginger cunts were back on the market.
And had to go out and get them before they were gone.
That's right.
But... So we're going to have Professor Jeff up here do the full review for this. You played Little Big Planet 2, and I'm assuming that you played all parts of the game.
I'd say 80%. There's a lot of game in there. Little Big Planet's a dense game. So
there's a lot of stuff to do there, and that's one of the things that people are praising this game for. I mean, first of all, it looks like a fun game. Now, I played Little Big Planet for the first time a few days ago. The guy I'm hanging out with, he has the game, and I don't know why I didn't play this game before. I'm in love with this game. I've been so into like horror and adventure games and whatnot, and just now getting more into shooters that I forgot how cool it is to just have a nice, fun, cute, innocent little game. Like
now, I'm a complete neophyte. How do you play it? I mean, what are the mechanics?
It's a physics-based platformer. So you go left to right, and you're able to grab stuff in the environment and throw it and hang off of stuff. And basically, you're just trying to get from one side of the level to the other, kind of in Mario fashion. The only real significant change, and this is the same in the first Little Big Planet, is that there's 3 levels of depth to every level. So you can move back towards the background and forward towards the foreground. So. But Little Big Planet 2 actually has added quite a bit to that, because in the first game, you may...
The 5th dimension?
No, more just like standard...
Cheeky bugger.
standard, kind of more standard platforming mechanics. I'd say the most significant things is they added a grappling hook that you can grab stuff and swing all over, and they added a pair of gloves that you can pick up certain things in the level.
And they have a helmet that you can shoot anything from. These are some of the new additions here that you have in this game. I mean, like Jeff was saying, it's a platforming game. And one of the things that separates this from a lot of platforming games out there is, as Jeff was saying, there's a lot of depth to it. You can come in the foreground, the background. But also one of the things that LittleBigPlanet was known for was allowing people to create their own levels and share them with a lot of other people out there. And if you're online, you'll see a lot of these games being rotated, the levels that people create. And one of them, you've seen them, some of the more creative or more popular levels that people have done are like somebody did a God of War LittleBigPlanet, because you can dress up your little sack boy any way you want to. So now with this new game, they have added some new things. They still have a story mode, and you still have the level creator, but then you have some other things, as he was just saying. You have some new toys to play with, and you also have a versus mode in the game, which I think that's the first time that they've had that, right, Jeff?
I think so. I don't remember. LittleBigPlanet 2 came out, or LittleBigPlanet 1 came out so long ago that I can't remember all the specifics of the multiplayer. But yeah, I know that they do have some new versus modes, and they have some new ways for you to program game modes. So you can have you can build like top-down shooters or top-down racers or things like that you couldn't do before. They also have a lot of new stuff that you can add it as far as the camera controls, and like you can make cutscenes for your individual levels and things like that you couldn't do before. So there's actually several online levels that are just like films that people have made using the little characters, the little emotive Sackboy characters. And
so LittleBigPlanet, part of its success is also just how interactive it is, and it seems like they recognize that and they're trying to make it even more interactive for the players out there.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things that's changed fairly dramatically is that in the first game, I mean, you had to go through an awful lot of work to get the environments to look different, because the whole game kind of has this patchwork look to it, like it's been assembled in like a craft room or something, like it's all made out of sackcloth and popsicle sticks and stuff like that. But I mean, with some of the new textures that they've put into the game, you could make a game that doesn't look anything like that. It looks like Geometry Wars, or there's a whole level in the game that's like a Gradius style 2D shooter bullet hell kind of thing, where they put the whole thing in neon silhouette. It looks kind of like a cross between Limbo and Life Force.
I was just going to say that I saw somebody who made a Limbo level in LittleBigPlanet. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it looked badass too, man. I mean,
that's good. I was afraid this game was going to depress me, because if you're just playing with like popsicle sticks and spools of yarn and everything, that just reminds me of being a poor kid. That's not why I bought a PS3.
It's like playing Michael's Arts and Crafts, the game, or some shit like that.
Right. Oh, hey, I'm in the eucalyptus section. Let's go play with frames.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff that, like, you're right, Jason. A bunch of stuff that poor kids did. This popsicle stick is as good as a doll.
Yeah, it's like, I found a refrigerator box in the alley. It smells like pee, but God, it's so much fun.
Let's play house. But so with this one, you still have, as we said, story mode. And I don't know what the story was in the first one. I know in this one you have the Negativitron, and little Sackboy has to save Craft World from him fucking that world up or whatever he does to it. And so you have to travel around the globe to these designated spots and pretty much just jump, climb, platform your way through these like 30 different levels until you finish the story level, or the whole story mode. And I heard the story is not that big a deal, but it's just so fucking cute that you can't resist.
We have to get to Victoria von Bathysphase. She's built us a sackpot army.
Quick! El Negativitron Diablo attacks us from the sky!
I say, Sackboy, you passed the test. You're in the Alliance.
The story's actually way better in LittleBigPlanet 2 than it is in the first one. Mostly because they have actual characters that you're interacting with. You have what's the guy, Larry Da Vinci, and a whole roster of kind of weird characters, where in the first game you had these kind of cardboard cutouts on the background of characters that would say stuff to you. In this one you actually have non-player characters that come in and talk to you, and the story is a little bit more cohesive. Like in the first game, you had this, you would go into a level and it would be like you're in the Dia de los Muertos level, and so everything looks like the Day of the Dead, and
nice.
It's like, oh, my bride has run away, and so you go and you platform, and the story is kind of incidental, whereas in LittleBigPlanet 2, the story is, you go from the beginning to the end. It's all the same story. You're trying to save Craft World from the Negativitron, and, there's a boss at the end of every stage, and, it's more like a traditional story-based platformer than the first one was.
Yeah, I was watching some of this, and I wish I wasn't in Sundance and I was able to play this game, because it really does have me. It has me hooked on how you can also just customize your little Sackboy and everything too. I mean, the game is so many ways that you can just make it your own while still retaining a lot of good gameplay. And speaking of that, so we talked about the story mode. I mean, Jason was asking you if they changed any mechanics of the game, and we said that you have things now like a grappling hook, and you have the what is it, the Creatatron, or the helmet that you can shoot anything with.
Oh yeah, you can set it to shoot. There's a whole level that you shoot water out of it, just like Super Mario Sunshine. But you can basically program it in the editing tool to shoot a variety of different stuff. I mean, I think most of the stuff that's in the game.
So can Sackboy just go around pissing through his head on people if he wanted
to? You could probably do that. It might get taken down because they've got they kind of got a peer review thing online where there's a British narrator who comes on when you first go online. He says, like, if you see anything naughty, make sure to alert the proper authorities. So
keep Jason Murphy away from this game as much as possible. No nutsack boy for you, Mr. Murph.
And also skee ball tournaments where there are children present. That was in my restraining order. Just
now,
did
you play the versus mode in this?
No, I didn't get a chance. I took a look at some of the stuff that people have made online. I played a nice Dead Space level that was pretty fun.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah, everything was real dark and spooky, and then the kind of patchwork monsters would go, bah, you have to jump on them. And I played a level that was a Resident Evil first-person shooter level, where they took the side-scrolling controls and they made it into a gun reticle, so you shot all these zombies that were rolling across the screen. I played somebody made the beginning of an RPG that they wanted to develop in the LittleBigPlanet engine that looked nothing at all like LittleBigPlanet. It was all neon and shadow again. But yeah, I mean, I played quite a few of the things that were out there, but it looks like the creation engine is really, really ramped up.
Did you take your hand at doing any tutorials or playing? No, not playing, but trying to create a level yourself?
I went through a little bit of the tutorial for the creation stuff, and I didn't get very far outside of what you were able to do in LittleBigPlanet 1, just kind of putting down, the level assets and how you arrange them and how you can turn them into fire or electricity or stuff like that.
So is that pretty intuitive, pretty easy for people to do?
Oh, it's incredibly, it's just like the first game. It's incredibly easy to go. Now, I don't know about the top-down shooting levels or things like that. That's probably a little bit more difficult. But as far as just creating the platforming levels, you essentially get your Sackboy, and then you have a little creation tool that lets you just paint the environment of the world with, hills and ledges and fire and stuff like that. And you just basically just run through the level and create it however you want.
So were you able to try any of the – you'd say you weren't able to try any of the other – kind of styles of gameplay, because in previous games or in the previous chapter of LittleBigPlanet or the previous game, you could only create platforming style gaming, but now you got you can shoot people and do top down shooters and stuff like that.
Yeah, I played one of the top down shooters that there was kind of like Asteroids that was, it had a full menu screen, start, quit, continue. It had a high score counter. It had, multiple weapons that you could shoot. It was all, it looked like it was just programmed for, like an indie, like one of the Xbox Live indie games type of thing. Which it just, the enjoyment of it is all going to kind of come on how much you desire, how big your desire is to create your own game.
Yeah.
It sounds amazingly robust.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's easy to use. Probably one of the easiest creation sets I've ever used.
I'm sorry, Jason. You just came out of nowhere. It sounds amazingly robust,
and it can be yours for only $59.99, PS3 exclusive, and a ShamWow.
Jason sounded like he was in a coffee commercial. This is so robust.
There are hints of ginger cunt at the end.
It sounded like you were the Grey Poupon guy for a second. Do you remember that commercial?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I'm surprised you remember that shit. How old are you?
Okay, well, I'm 23, but to be honest, I first saw it in the Wayne's World movie, so, I checked it up on YouTube.
Over in Britain, people just don't stop you in the middle of the road and say, "Excuse me, would you happen to have any Grey Poupon?" That doesn't happen.
I don't even know what the hell Grey Poupon is.
I mean, we flip people off here in America. They ask for Grey Poupon over there in the UK. So, well, I am really interested in playing this game, man. I mean, I like I said, when I saw it before, it's cute, but it just seemed really innovative in the way that you can just interact with this game in so many ways. I would like to know at this point. Oh, before I move on with this, what was your favorite part of the game? Like, what was your favorite addition that they didn't have before? And after you say that, what would you rate the game overall? Like, would you pay full price for it?
Well, okay. As far as the best part, I mean, I would say that I can't talk enough about how satisfied I was with the story, because the first LittleBigPlanet seemed like very creative with the single player, but I just got bored part of the way through the game because the gameplay didn't change very much. And this campaign is quite a bit shorter than the original game, but having that narrative structure there where you're actually doing something instead of just going from left to right and then the level is over, really kept me playing from start to finish in a way that the first one didn't. Now, I would like to say that I think that the physics of LittleBigPlanet have always been very kind of floaty. Mm-hmm. That's
a good question. I mean, that's a good thing to say. What we've been praising the game, but what are the things that you didn't like about it?
That was one of the things that I kind of get tired of, that real loose physics engine after a while, and I wish that there had been, that they had. It seemed like it'd be an easy thing to do, but to kind of give you the option to create a 2D platformer that has that kind of Mario razor sharp control, where if you're not moving the stick, there is no inertia. There is, the gravity is just straight up and down. Because some of the parts of the game got really frustrating, because as you go through the game, you pick up new creation materials on every level that you go into. So you pick up stickers and costumes and stuff like that. And especially with the grappling hook, there were some of those levels that just seemed like really, really difficult to get around, just because of it seemed like you were kind of fighting the physics of the game, because you just float off the side of the screen and die. And it was
that'd be kind of cool if you could change the gravity and the inertia and all that, and just a couple of little dials that you could tweak and change the physics engine. I mean, if it's this physics, centric, that you could also, just put something in there where an option to where you could tweak it a little bit, even go 0G or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Or make it so intense that like you enter a part of the screen and you get thrown into a wall or something, and you die, because I've seen Sackboy die so many different ways. I mean, it's a cute game, but it's very sinister how many ways you can be electrocuted or shredded up or burned up. I mean, fortunately you don't see his like cotton and insides get strewn out all over the place like intestines or anything like that. But I mean, there are so many different ways. I mean, it looks like a challenging game, and there's so many different ways to die in the game, and you only get like a limited number of guys too, right, per level.
Yeah, whenever you hit, there's checkpoints throughout the level, and whenever you hit them, there's like a little white circle that comes up, and every time you die, the little door opens up that you pop out of, and that little circle gets smaller and smaller, and if it gets all the way down to the end, then, you got to start the level over again. But, I mean, if for anybody that's played 2D platforming, it's not going to be, just getting through the game is not going to be especially difficult. It's mostly going to come in, there are specific assets that you get in the game for like finishing a level without ever dying, or for getting all the collectibles in a level, or finishing under a certain time, that sort of thing. So that's really where the challenge of the game is going to come for players that are familiar with this, is going to be in going back through and trying to get every single sticker and every single, environmental thing throughout the entire single player game. Yeah. Which kind of, I don't know, you create a game like this that's made for level construction, but the materials that you use to construct every level come from how well you perform in the single-player game. So there are going to be some things that people aren't going to be able, if you're not super great at a 2D platforming game, you may not be able to get that one brick texture that you really want because you just can't get the grappling hook to work the right way, or you keep falling in the pit. So,
okay. Well, despite all those things, man, what would you rate the game?
I'd probably give it a low full price. I'd say that if you played the first one and you like it, it's a no-brainer. The second one is more the same, refined in great ways all around. Some people, though, myself included, I don't get excited when there's a level editor with a game. Like when I buy StarCraft, I'm not like, oh, is there a level editor? Oh, I'm going to create all my own levels. I'm going to make 1 million levels and put them online. So if you're not into the whole creation thing, once you get done with the story and you played some of the stuff online, I can see a little bit of interest waning. But if you've never played it before, LittleBigPlanet 2 is just as good as the first one. It's a great game.
I think it's adorable. I just want to, every time I see Sackboy, I just want to kick him. You know what I mean?
You really find him
not
adorable?
what I expected you to say.
I do find him adorable. He's so,
because he looks fucking creepy. He looks like that thing in Trick or Treat. That pumpkin little kid.
That's what it is.
No, man.
Scares,
looks like Sam from Trick or Treat.
he scares the shit out of me.
He looks like a little lovely hacky sack guy. I just want to kick him across the room when I see him, but I want to do it with love. I sometimes I just want to. He looks like I just want to pick him up and smoke him because he looks like he's made out of hemp. Come here,
stab you with a candy cane or something.
In fact, I think that should be one of the levels. He walks into a group of hippies and he has to see if he can get out of it before they kick him to death. I'll try to smoke his ass, but we were talking about a little contest that we like to do. And we were saying that we would love to have somebody come on the show, but look, man, we just can't have people come on this show, for nothing. We just can't leave the door open and have just stragglers coming in here. You gotta earn your right to come in here. So, I think it was Professor Jeff over here who said we should ask the people out there to create a loading bar level in LittleBigPlanet 2. Now, for that, you'll have to see all of our images, and we'll put that up later on. I know we're getting our characters together for our big video debut at some point, and so you're gonna have to see what those characters look like. And when we put those characters up, and keep checking this blog post right here, this review, because probably in the next couple of days I'll put the images up of ourselves within the blog post. But you have to keep checking for that because we're not really done yet. And if you can incorporate those characters into a level of LittleBigPlanet, a LittleBigPlanet 2, not only will we have you on the show, but we will try, no promises, we will try to even record some video of your game or your level and post that up for people to see as we play. And here's the thing, you'll get to play with us. So, because I want to play the game. So I don't know if all of us can play, but I think we can manage that. We'll work out something. So you get to play with us, see the gameplay on your level, have it posted up there, and you get to be on the show. And you know what that's going to cost you? Not a goddamn thing. Just you have to make a level in LittleBigPlanet 2, and that's easy enough because you love
and
the game.
And you have to be ready
much.
for us to make fun of it.
Yeah, and make fun of you while you're here.
Yes.
I want mine. I request that I want my character in a banana hammock. If you can do that. Is that too questionable, you think?
Did you really even have to ask?
Don't you think that the British guys say, no, that's too naughty, we can't have Mr. Common in a banana hammock?
Oh, not until he sees my banana hammock. He's going to let it go. I love it. His mouth will water when he sees it. My little sack boy. But you know what? Here's the thing. It is kind of nasty.
I'm feeling a little queasy.
It's so dirty.
This is coming from
you witnessed
so
banana
dirty.
hammock.
You just said, you're bitching at me for making it dirty, and you're like, Sackboy's mouth is going to water when he sees me in my banana hammock. That's what you said.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, come on, man. It's not. It can even be compared to like Little Hairy Nutsack Boy, which points if somebody can actually get away with making that. By the way.
Okay.
So get to work, people, and thanks guys for doing this, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, great.
Great.
Right.
Bye.
Your first Alliance mission. Pretend you're on a magnificent steed. Tippity-top, tippity-top.
Then it is time to fly.
years of building and being just a muggle.
Looking to build an army, are you? Indulge me.
And patience, believe me, they are nothing without my love.
They're amazed when my eyes were closed.